Okay, say right in the last class, right? In our last class, so we discuss what do you mean by the term software, right? We discuss what do you mean by the term software. Physical devices and components of computer cannot operate without software and is needed to make the hardware process in the way required. Software is the general term used to describe programs which are used on a computer and consist of the step-by-step instruction that tells the computer how to perform a task, right? We can classify the software into major three components that are system software, application software, firmware, right? System software means this type of software is program. This type of software program contribute to control and performance of the computer system. These programs are given the collective name system software. So inside the system software, we can further classify the operating system, utility program, language, translators, right? Operating system is the most important program on a computer, which act as a bridge between hardware and application programs. So what do you mean by the term software? Software is the very basic fundamental bridge between hardware and software programs, right? So it facilitates computer operations more simple and efficient. It controls everything that goes on it to your computer. It is the first program to start when you turn on your computer and last to stop when off the computer. Say examples of operating system. First one, DOS. DOS means disk operating system. Disk operating system is the event-driven program. Event-driven program. So each event you have to write it down. Event-driven program. And then Windows 95, Windows 97, Windows 98, Windows 2000, Windows Me, Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows NT. So now in this way, the Windows go up to Windows 10, right? So in other part, so now Linux, Unix. So the basic Linux, Unix, we can say Red Hat operating system, and other one, Apple computer mainly use iOS, right? Sorry, Apple computer, they are using Mac operating system. Mac means Macintosh, right? Macintosh operating system. Say the objective of modern operating system. What is the objective of operating system? What is the objective of operating system? First one, GUI, graphical user interface, right? Graphical user interface. In 1980s, microcomputers operating system was strictly text-based command-driven software. Text-based command-driven software. That means there is the disk operating system. DOS means disk operating system. So in 1980, right? In 1980s, so the operating system was disk operating system. Every command should be event-driven program. Every command should be event-driven program. So every command should be in a text-based command. So the text-based operating system commands are syntax sensitive. So not only that, Text-based command is syntax sensitive. Sometimes you have to enter the letter with capital first. You have to enter the letter, rest of the letters are simple letters. So it should be complicated to use the users, right? So everything you have to type. Anyhow, in that type of operating system, anyone they work that one, they have very fast typing because each and everything you have to type. If you want to move, copy, drag, drop, everything you have to write the words. Then only the system should be work. So user must follow the terms for constructing the command. So if the user he is very well to know the command, then only he can use the system. The thread nowadays is away from command-driven interface to an user-friendly, graphical-oriented environment called graphical user interface. So earlier days we used command-driven program. Command-driven. You have to put the command. In that command only you can work it out. Now we are away from that command-driven program. Now we are familiar with GUI, graphical user interface. With the graphical user interface, the user can interact with operating system and other software. So we can simply interact the OS and other software packages by selecting option from menu or graphic icons on the screen using mouse, right? Graphical user interface have efficiently eliminated the need for users to memorize and enter cucumber commands. So here we have no struggle to see here and there. We can simply, cumbersome command means it's not complicated, right? Cumbersome commands means it's not complicated. So that is the first objective of the modern operating system, graphical user interface. The second one, multi-users. So now we are using one laptop or one personal computer. Is it multi-user operating system? Is it multi-user can allow to use the computer? What do you mean by the term multi-user? If I am using the computer one hour, then someone else, they will come to use the computer 1 hour, and rest of them they can use consecutively. Is it the term using multi-user? Multi-user mean multiple users allow to access the computer. Multiple user can operate the computer. So at a time, with the process, with the CPU is in the back end, right? We can use the monitor and keyboard. We can use the monitor and keyboard. Say, many users can use to access the same CPU, same processor, same system. That is the multi-user operating system at a time, simultaneously. Many terminals we can work with one backend. So that is multi-user system. So one and second advantage for the modern operating system is multi-user operating system. Multi-user means at a time, backend one server, we can access many users within a particular instance. So multi-user can access simultaneously that system. Due to that, the new operating system or the modern operating system, one concept is multiple users, they can allow to use the computer, right? Same time or different time. Second one, multi-processing, right? Multi-processing, an operating system capable of supporting and utilizing more than one computer processor. So normally one processor, if we can use one computer, that computer have only one processor. That is not the case for this one. Here, when we are using some server type computer, or sometimes some computer, it can has more than two processors, so or three, four processors. Why? The purpose of computer, we can use simultaneously many operations. One processor is not enough to sort out the issues. Due to that, they can fix more than one processor. So multiprocessing, an operating system capable of supporting and utilizing more than one computer processor. So more than one or two processors, it can work parallelly, right? Simultaneously. So multiprocessing. Normally in servers, say servers, we are never switch off the server. Servers are working day and night, stretch, continuously. It can be work years, like years wise. So 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, no one can stop. Why? If we can stop the server, it's create problem, right? Backend we have the problem to get it back. So server can work simultaneously, continuously. So when we are working with servers, or when we are using the backend as server, then it can be work continuously. So one processor is not enough to work continuously. So one processor is working and give some time. The second processor is working, third, fourth, fifth. So many processors, 8 or 16 processors may be work inside simultaneously, or keep rest and turn it in the next time, right? So that is the multi processing of the computer. Say the fourth one, multitasking, right? Multitasking means in a computer at a time, we can use many tasks, right? At a time, we can use many tasks. Say now I am working with my MS Word application. So in the same time, I can watch cricket match in another corner, and the cricket match is also in the silent mode. No need to get the sound, because I am very interested to see the score. Much more interested to see the score. So then I can watch the cricket match. Not only these two, so I wish to play one backend music. So I am interested to hear a song. So then I can play the song. At a time, I am working with Word, and I can watch the cricket match, and I am hearing out the song. So at a time, now I can observe three different tasks. That is the multitasking. Not only 3, 4, 5, whatever is possible to manage your computer system capacity, you can work multitasking, right? So the modern operating system main object, that is the graphical user interface, GUI, graphical user interface. No more command driven interface. That is the graphical user interface. That is the first thing. Second one, multi users can access one system or same computer at a time or different time. Third one, multi-processing. Not only one processor, more than 2 or 3 processors can be work simultaneously, or someone is working at a time and some processors take rest, right? Multitasking, in a particular time, we can work not only one task, we can work with 3, 4, 5 tasks, depend on the capacity of the computer. Is it clear for what do you mean by the term graphical user interface, multiprocessing, multitasking, multi-users? Is it okay? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So this one is the very, very fundamental thing I am illustrated now. So not only this, in our new syllabus notes, now we are preparing to give the notes, but not the not in the standard here. Otherwise, I can complete the notes and come back. Say, multiprocessing is the coordinated processing of program. Multiprocessing means we can process this and that and two or three or more than two program at a time. So due to that, if you can run this type of multiprocessing, you have to coordinate it, right? You have to coordinate it, this program. So if you can work like this, by more than one computer processor, multiprocessing is a general term. Multiprocessing is a general term that can mean the dynamic assignment of a program to one of two or more computers working in tandem. So, or can involve multiple computer working on the same program at the same time. It may be parallel. Right? So multiprocessing means it can be work parallel or it can be work symmetric multiprocessing, right? So with the advent of parallel processing, multiprocessing is divided into symmetric multiprocessing and massively parallel processing. So, and then they are divided in two more: symmetric multiprocessing and massively parallel processing, depend on the demand for that processing, right? They can further classify symmetric multiprocessing and massively parallel processing. In symmetric multiprocessing, the processors share memory and the I/O bus, input-output data bus or data path. A single copy of the operating system is in charge of all the processor. So the symmetric multiprocessing, also known as shared everything system, does not usually exceed 16 processors. So SMP, symmetric multiprocessing, can have maximum 16 processors. It can have maximum 16 processors. The massively parallel or loosely coupled processing, up to 200 or more processors can work on the same application. So with a particular application, it may be work up to 200 processors. Each processor has its own operating system and memory, but an interconnect arrangement of data path allow messages to be sent between processors. Typically, the setup for MPP, massive processing, is more complicated, requiring through about how to partition a common database among processors and how to assign work among the processors, right? So, and multitasking means, so like this, right? We can use one event, another event, another event. These three events can be observed in one monitor. Then there is multitasking, like three different tasks with three different monitors, but we are working these three in a one computer. Then it says multitasking. So in addition to that, thread is also depend on the processor core. Otherwise I can say this one also. Thread, multi-threading. What are the threads in computer processor or CPU, right? Thread are the virtual component or code which divides the physical core of the CPU into virtual multiple core, right? Say normally a single CPU core can have up to 2 threads per core, right? A single CPU core can have up to 2 threads per core. It's depend on the hardware. So in the processor, when we are talking about one processor, the single core contain 2 thread, right? In a CPU, maybe we can say that is the dual core processor, that is the dual core computer. Sometimes we can call the computer name also, especially that is the processor name. It's a dual core processor. It's a dual core computer. The dual core means the CPU is dual core, right? So if it is dual core, dual mean two, it's a 2 core, then it will have 4 thread, right? It will have 4 thread. And if a CPU is octa-core, it's an octa-core processor. If it is in octa-core, right? Octal means 8. So if it has an 8 core, then 8 into 2, 16 thread will be there. So, and do the same, right? If it is octal, then 16. And if it is 16 core, then 32 thread, right? Likewise, the thread may be increased. So the thread is the created by a process. The thread is created by a process. What do you mean thread? Thread means when you are open an application. When you are open an application, then one thread is created and the thread can manage all over the application matters. So at a time you can open one PowerPoint presentation, open one Word application, open background music files. So 3 or 4 application can be worked simultaneously. 3 or 4 thread can be created simultaneously. Each thread should be managed each application, right? So the thread is created by a process. Every time you open an application, it itself create a thread, right? It itself create a thread which will handle all the task of that specific application. So the thread can handle and manage the task of the application. Likewise, the more application you open, more thread will be created. So parallelly, when you are open Word application, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you can click continuously. Then every application should be open, open, open. What's happened in the end? When we are open, one after the other, continuously, you can open one application. Say, for example, you are opening Word, one word, second Word application, third Word application, fourth Word application. Now you are continuously open the Word application. So you are using very fast computer, i7 latest computer now you are using. What's happened in the end when we are opening the application continuously? So if you are open in the taskbar says now you have to have, there are 30 application in the taskbar, then what will happen? So sometime your mouse pointer or your touch screen have some problem. Then when you are click in that application, it can be continuously open one after the other, the sequence of program. Finally, what will happen? Hello, no one have this type of program, this type of problem. No one handle this type of problem in your life. When you are open a sequence of programs without your knowledge or with your knowledge, what is the end of that thing? Can you understand what I am asking?
Yes, sir.
So sometime you can purposefully open application, or without our knowledge, sometime application may be open, right? So the sequence of word application, it's open. Sequence of application means there are 30 or 35 word application simultaneously open. So your taskbar says continuous word application. Then finally, what will happen? The computer is working, or it maybe go to stuck. Go to stuck. Why? Each and every application, when you are open, one thread is created. One thread is created. Your computer is octa-core processor. Octa-core processor, how many thread is possible? 16 thread. Maximum 16 thread can manage by the computer. If you are open more than 16 thread, what will happen? Computer definitely go to stuck state. Then you can clear it out. Then only it will be return it back. So what is the maximum thread you can open? More than that, when you are open, automatically the computer will go to stuck stage, right? Could you understand what I say? Or if any problem, I can repeat it again. Right? So the thread means if you wish to open one application or one file, whatever you wish to open a task or create a task or do a task, then everything will open as a thread, right? Everything go to assign one thread. So two thread can be managed by one core, right? Two thread only can be managed by one core. In your processor capacity, if anyone heard about the term dual core processor, octa core processor, if you heard about the term or not?
Yes, sir.
So if you wish to purchase a computer, they say that is the dual core processor. What do you mean for dual core processor? That is a very fundamental or very entry level laptop. So entry level computer, dual core means it can manage maximum 4 thread, right? That is the octa-core processor. Then what do you mean? Octa-core means that is inside have 8 core, so it can be managed 16 thread. So 4 times faster than the dual core, right? 4 times faster than the dual core. Nowadays, the dual core is available. So dual core, normally we say dual core. The dual core is available and octa-core is available. Not only dual core and octa-core. Hexa-core is also available, right? Hexa means 16 core. Then it can be managed 32 thread, right? So maybe depend on the CPU speed, the computer can manage the rest of the stuff, right? Say there's a single thread code of that core which perform the computation, also known as primary thread. On the core, which when gets the information from the user, creates another thread and allocate the task to it. Similarly, if it is get another instruction, it forms second thread and allow the task to it, making a total of 2 thread. When we are using a single thread, when we are using a single core processor, how many tasks we can assign? Maximum 2 tasks, right? Dual core processor, maximum 4 tasks, 4 thread. Say the smartphone application is an example of this. When you open an app, it shows a circle which spin continuously, right? So when you are open more application, what will happen in your mobile phone or in your laptop? The cursor is busy, right? The cursor is busy. So normally in your computer, when you are using the default application, default pointer system, then if the busy means the sand watch, right? The sand clock will be move here and there, right? The sand clock, right? So when we are using the same thing in your mobile phone, then it can be round and round, right? That process is done by the thread created for this purpose only. And the second thread load the information and present it in the graphical user interface. So each and every application should be linked with thread, right? Utility and service program. Utility and service program. There are some type of system programs doing certain type of jobs in every computer. For example, data recovery is the program to recover the lost data by accidentally deleted. So what do you mean data recovery? So without our knowledge, or someone they have to delete the data purposefully. If you wish to recover the program, you have to put data recovery. Backup is a program to make copy of information restore, right? Backup. We have to take backup, periodical backup. Some important files or banks, they can keep the files periodically backup, right? Say in data recovery software, when we are using one data recovery software, say for example, say we are using our computer, but last week everything is perfect. Last week everything is perfect, but this week I have some problem. My computer is not working. No, I have some problem to found my files. Then what shall I do? I wish to back up the data. I wish to recover the data in the pre-dated. So today 17. I know. So 14, when I was show my computer, that file was available, right? So I know. So 14, I found that file. So 17, the file is missing. Then I can put to get a recovery on 14. Then I can simply get what are the file was there in the particular date of 14. So that is the data recovery, data backup. We can save backup files time to time. So that is the meaning for backup. Disk management. The disk management mainly focus on, say, a program partition and format the disk. Also include disk scanning, cleaning, and disk defragmentation. So when we are putting the partition and format the disk, also include fragmentation. Screen saver is preventing the monitor display screen from being, so why we are using screen saver? What is the purpose of using screen saver? So in the normal stage, screen can consume more power, right? Screen can consume more power. So when we are not touch the key or anything with the laptop or our desktop, why we want to spend more current to the system, then it can be reduced using the screen saver. So within 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we can adjust the time interval. So 5 minutes, after 5 minutes, automatically the screen saver is playing here and there. The power consumption of the monitor is automatically comes down, right? The power consumption of the monitor is automatically comes down. So next one, the language translator. Language translator. A computer can understand only the machine language, right? So computer only know the machine language. What are the machine language codings? So human know the digital numbers, right? 10 digits numbers. But computer only know machine language. Machine language means zeros and one. It can be sequence of zeros and ones or combination of zeros and one, but only computer understand 0, 1. If the signal is passing through one line, then it's 1. No more signal, 0. Likewise, computer, we can interact with the computer, right? That is the machine language. When we want to go to interact with machine language, before that, so high level language, low level language, and then machine language. There are three different layers is available. We can go to reach the machine language. So which depend on the design of the microprocessor, but it is difficult to write program in binary code on the machine language. So hence the low-level language which use simple words to denote operation was introduced, and then came the high-level language which use simple alphabet words to write programs. Translators translate program from high-level language to machine language. Say, normally we have a problem to write down any code or any instruction using to write down the commands, everything in a high-level language. The high-level language can be converted into low-level language. Low-level language means assembly. Assembly is one of the low-level language. Assembly means each command we can write down. So move this register command to that register, and that register command to add these two commands. So a little bit lower and a little bit upper with machine language. The low level language is in between for high level and machine language. So it can be a mediator for machine language and high level language. So normally in high level language we can say Java, C++, everything goes to high level language, and the low level language is mainly assembly. Assembly is called assembly language, right? Assembly language that allows the program to use codes instead of numbers used in a machine language. Is also a machine dependent language, right? So, and then it can be converted to machine language, high level language, and then low level language, and then it goes to understand by the machine, right? Say in application software, the second one, application software. Application software, we can further classify it into two: application program, application language, languages and program. Application software is a software that can perform useful work on general purpose tasks. They can be either custom written or packaged. Custom written software is a software designed for a particular customer. Package software is suite of program which associated documentation use a particular type of problem. Some features which are common to most application packages include cursors, scrolling, menus, help screen, dialog boxes, special purpose, and function key. So everything goes to application software. Application program means user application program are written by the user in order to perform specific job for the user. Such programs are written in a variety of programming language according to circumstances, but all should be written in a systematic way, such as that indicate in the part of program. For example, programs written in any language such as Pascal, Basic, C++, Java, Visual Basic, anything, everything goes to application languages. Packages in our purpose. In our purpose, when we are using anything, it comes under package. Word, Excel, Access, PowerPoint, or Corel Draw, Photoshop, Photo Paint, Full 3D, whatever the normal package, day-to-day package when we are using, everything comes to the packages, right? So mainly we can classify the application software into programming languages and packages, right? So all the programming language, Basic, Pascal, C++, Java, Visual Basic, PHP, everything goes to programming languages, and here packages, everything is a pack. So Word, Excel, Access, or otherwise we are using a particular application for our business or for our day-to-day activity. That is the special application for me. That one is also application packages, right? Some example for application packages: desktop application. When we are using calendars, the clock, calculator, notepad, personal information manager, diary, planners, budgeting, word processing, Excel, databases, graphics and presentation, communication. So in this database, if you wish to put one database, then we can create a database using MS Access or Oracle or SQL Server. These three are main database applications, right? If you wish to store the database, then you can use Access or Oracle or SQL Server. If you wish to prepare a presentation, most probably we are very familiar to Microsoft PowerPoint or Adobe Photoshop, right? Communication, so applications are email, internet, and so on. Utility application, right? Utility applications are disk cleanup, virus, scan. Entertainment applications, say games and movies, learning, encyclopedia, kids learning, typing, tutor. So these are very helpful to guide us, right? So the firmware, which is another class of software. This is a set of instruction stored permanently, right? Set of instruction stored permanently in a hardware during manufacture. So the only one difference between firmware means one hardware chip burned by hardware chip is burned by software program, right? So hardware, software intermix burn one, we can say that is the firmware. So normally one and only one example is only one example for firmware is ROM chips, right? ROM chips, read-only memory. When you switch on the computer, in the initial stage of the booting strap program, right? The booting stage of the program, so one black screen should be displayed, and then one after the other, all other commands will be appear, right? All other commands will be appear. When the sequence of commands, is coming one after the other, before loading the windows, the ROM chip can give the commands. So what is the first step, second step, third step? How we can load the computer, right? So the initial stage of booting strap is mainly focused this firmware files or firmware applications. So the firmware means hardware and the software program, hardware device with built by software program, right? So earlier stage only read-only memory, so we can't do anything. That is the permanent one. After that, erasable, programmable, read-only memory, erasable and reprogrammable. So we can erase and reprogram it in the read-only memory and electrically erasable reprogrammable memory. So the different kind of ROM is available, but the ROM means that is the one and only one example for firmware, right? Hardware and software intermixed chip. So I wish to give these notes with upgraded version. So now the notes is prepared. On the way is going on the work. So anyway, I will give the notes in the next class or something. So what do you feel? So rest of the subject, are they started to put the exam, quiz exam or mid exam, or no one? If any other subjects you already face quiz exam?
No, sir.
No, still no. Okay, but comparably the other subjects, this one is very fundamental. No, you already heard about the terms and all. No, shall we practice the quiz exam? Hello.
Yes, sir.
How many of you have two devices in your hand? Two devices mean two mobile phone or laptop with mobile phone. How many of you have possible? I know in some classes, right? In some classes, some students, they are sitting the exam. So only grade 3, grade 4 students, huh? Not a big guys. So very small kids, they are practicing their examination. So using two devices. One, they have to answer the question, and another one device they wish to put it in the side, right? They wish to put it in the side. So the device should be monitored. What is the person have to do now? Is it enough to control or enough to manage the examination? What do you think? So when we starting the exam, we can rotate the camera here and there. No one is there, back and front, and then put it in the front. Is it enough to manage the exam hall? Is enough to cover up the person or not enough? Not enough. Then how can we monitor more closely? Any other option is available to monitor the person? So we can monitor. So we have to put one device in front, and backside we can put one mirror, right? We have to put one mirror in the backside. Then, so when you are entering in the ice cream shops or anywhere, side by side, opposite to opposite, if you have to display two mirror, inside of one, anyone if entered between these two, how many images will be displayed? Number of images will be displayed. Now, my point is not that. So we can put the mobile phone in front of you, and in your mobile phone, camera should be cover the backside mirror, right? Backside mirror. So the backside should be covered. What are the things is available in front of you? In front of the mirror. And mobile phone should be covered in front of you to back the mirror. Then in between this gap, if anyone comes to enter, what will happen? We can simply diagnose something is going wrong. Am I correct or not? Hello, could you understand what I say?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what do you feel? Is it enough to balance or not enough? So last time some mid-exam, quiz exam or mid-exam done by some other department, not for you, the final year students or third year student. So the average quiz marks is high. The average quiz marks is higher than when they are sitting the exam in the normal mode. So when we have to put the exam, quiz exam in the online, each and every students perform well. What's the symptom of that? Every student, when they are answering the quiz in the online, they are very comfortable to answer the quiz. Is it the reason? Due to they can score more marks in this exam. Huh? Is it the reason they got more marks? What is the reason if most of the students, the average marks go up closer to 87? What is the reason they got more marks? Because
no one is there to monitor them.
yeah, because normally in the class they have some problem to copyright someone from some other students, but someone say now they are very comfortable to write down the exam because no problem, no problem. So they are very comfortable to write the exam. Due to that, they can get more marks, no. So actually, the thing is, they can if they have any other mobile phone, then they can discuss with these things with group call. What's the answer of the first one? Right. What's the answer of the second one? This. So they can chat with someone else, or if they can create a group, what's the answer of first one? They can put the answer, then they can answer it out. So likewise, they will work, right? That is not the practical exam. So quiz only 10 marks, no problem. It's not affected. But what do you feel in the final exam? If you are allowed to do this type of exam, so not possible. No point of view to do this type of exam. So anyhow, when you are sitting the final exam, definitely you can keep two devices. Or in the exam time, you have to go to some other places to try to find suitable location. The coverage, everything is okay. So you have to find out some good location to go to sit the examination, right? Otherwise, you have facing the problem. Why? Your coverage is not enough. What shall I do? So what shall be the solution for the examination team? So anyhow, they are in your area, the clear-cut coverage is available. You can shift to go to sit the exam. There is the only one possible way when you are sitting the exam in online. Final exam. This exam, mid exam is no problem. We can balance, but in the final exam, you have to do some other places, right? Okay, that's all. We'll see in the next class. Thank you. Be patient.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.